Such funding will require a swift and comprehensive transformation of the financial system and its structures and processes, engaging governments, central banks, commercial banks, institutional investors, and other financial actors. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to talk about a very important topic, as I mentioned earlier, which comes on top of the priorities of the Egyptian government and actually the whole world, not only the Egyptian government, but Egypt has been taking serious steps in this regard. The recent of which was hosting the COP27 here in Egypt. And we're talking, of course, about climate change and the effects of climate change on us here in Egypt. We're very much delighted to have with us Dr. Iman Shaker, Director of Remote Sensing Center at the Egyptian Meteorological Authority. Thank you very much, Dr. Iman, for being with us.
Thank you very much for you and your program for this interview.
Thank you very much. Now, in the beginning, I would like to know to what extent does the expectations of the authority match what happens in real life, and how does this happen?
In the past few years, we have more accuracy in the forecasting of Egyptian Meteorological Authority, reach about 95% and more. This because of three factors. First is the development of the all forecasting systems, and the second factor is the training of all forecasting in different countries, especially European countries. The third reason is the installation of 3 radars for the first time in Egypt, which can collect the data from the clouds, the amount of clouds, the type of clouds, and the rain amount. This make accuracy of the forecasting in Egyptian Meteorological Authority.
Yes. If we're talking about climate change, Dr. Iman, what are the preparations that Egypt has taken in order to face climate change repercussions?
Climate change affected all over the world, especially the developing countries. From one of the developing countries, Egypt, climate change affected severe weather events like torrential rain, flash flooding, heavy rain, and especially in some places like northern coastal zone, especially also extreme events such as dust storm and sandstorm, fog. So the Egyptian Meteorological Authority have many researches for climate change, many scenarios for climate change. We have two scenarios, optimistic and pessimistic scenarios. The first scenario is the optimistic scenario, which shows the degree of temperature increasing 1.5 degree up till 2015. This leads to a heavy amount of rain, especially in the coastal zone. Another scenario, the increase of the amount of carbon dioxide, and this will increase the temperature to reach about 4 degrees above the normal. This leads to heavy rain, especially in the coastal zone, until 2040. Then from 2040 to 2100, sorry, this will lead to drought, and this will affect crops, agriculture, water resourcing, and all over the human earth.
Yes. Yeah. Now, Dr. Iman, in your opinion, how do you see the outcome of COP27 that was held in November here in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt?
COP27 will succeed very good in the organization of Egypt. From COP27, we have many efforts, like in political efforts, in many outcomes. First, the initiative of water resources and agriculture. Second, the initiative of the early warning, early action, which held by WMO, World Meteorological Organization, and also in partnership with Egyptian Meteorological Authority.
Yes. What are your expectations when it comes to climate here in Egypt in the upcoming period?
The upcoming period in Egypt, we have different climate. We have many events, extreme events, such as rain, such as dust and sandstorm, especially hail phenomena, which affected and widespread very areas such as Iskandria, Matruh, Kafr Sheikh, El Bahira, New Cairo, affected by hail. It's new phenomena in Egypt that's affected by climate change. The amount of rain increased in Alexandria especially. It was in the last year about 10 times the rate, the annual rate. It's very amount of rain. It's just unfortunately for Alexandria especially.
Yes, I would like to thank you very much, Dr. Iman Shakir, Director of the Remote Sensing Center at the Egyptian Meteorological Authority. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us. A short break and we'll be right back with the Hour's Top Stories. Stay tuned.
اسكندرية